Good morning, all. Welcome to Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club for my coffee club people. Good morning. I hope you have your cup of joe. If you don't, it's time to go get it. We are going to be starting soon. So, good morning, England. Yes. If you guys love this channel and can't get enough of it, our coffee club is really, taking off. By all means, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Please like this show, this particular segment. It is going to be another one of those great days. Happy Monday. Happy Manic Monday. I'm finding that, our time is right about 6:30. I know we were used to go a little earlier than this, but quite frankly, I can't go to sleep at night. Like last night, I just tossed and turned and it was just, I don't know what to say. I just couldn't get it. So, at any rate, good morning, everyone. I'm so thankful that you're here. I know we've got a lot of people from around the world watching, and it's just, it's really sweet. It's really sweet. And I've got my moderators in here, and good morning to my moderators. You guys did a fabulous job yesterday. That's why I don't really like going live in mid-morning, because all the crazies are out. They really are. And for those that weren't here yesterday or weren't part of the coffee club yesterday, it was just it was like one or two disruptors in here, but they kept creating accounts and coming in here and just trolling, and it was really a hot mess. Well, I mean, I just kept going, but it was very distracting, I have to say. So if that goes, okay, so it's like mid-morning in the UK, but that's okay. The UK seems to love me. It's the people that are here in the United States. There's a whole segment that are Wells sympathizers, and they have nothing better to do than to watch this channel and attack the people here and attack me. So hopefully that will subside, especially it being Monday. It not quite being 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure we'll have a few in here that come in here and there. But for the most part, I think it's going to be back to our drama-free zone, which we all love and appreciate. Nobody loves drama-free than me. I have to be honest with you. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Susan. And you know what? It's so wonderful that we can have people from all over the world at this time. Like we have people from Australia, people from England, the UK, and just it's really sweet. Some people from Canada come in here. So it's really nice. It's really nice. I really appreciate seeing you guys. I'm hoping, we got Emma. Emma's another one of my favorites. Well, you guys are all my favorites, but I have some that I communicate with more than others. I'm sure you guys understand. So it's great. It's great. So snowing there. Good morning. Welcome all who are just joining. Thank you. I see you. She needs to be my spokesperson. Oh my goodness. I opened the door here. Many of you guys know I'm here in Florida. I opened the door. It's a little chilly in Florida. We had some weather move through, and it's just windy and a little cold. It was quite different. Is it Martin Luther King Day? I haven't even checked my calendar. Holy crap. Let's confirm. And if anybody knows, I am like a major Martin Luther King fan. I love Martin Luther King. It is Martin Luther King Day. It is. I love Alveda King and watch her and support her. And, there was a difference in advocating back in those days. They really did know how to peacefully protest, lock arm in arm, walk through the streets. Martin Luther King was definitely an idol. We all learned about Martin Luther King in school. And, I'm very thankful for what they've done to the community, what they did to society, the changes that they made in those days, and I think it's very sad that, people, everybody, a lot of people don't know. And I know a lot of people have different thoughts on, the past. But at some point in every society, including Chinese, I'm Irish, in the Chinese enslaved Irish folks, so in all fairness, my ancestors were slaves. And I talk about my pedigree, because I did the DNA stuff, that DNA heritage, whatever it is. And I found out that, that I have Asian in me. And it makes me wonder, what kind of atrocities maybe one of my family members went through while they were enslaved for me to have some kind of Asian blood in me. But again, I have no proof that that's the reason why I have this Asian blood in me, right? But when you look in the past and you read your history, it just makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. So I think every walk of life have been enslaved one way or another. I think that there is slavery to this day. I mean, I feel enslaved to my government. Just saying. So we shall see. We shall see. Getting off topic. Good morning, Coffee Club. If you guys have not had an opportunity to be part of the Coffee Club, you guys can go to the merch store and purchase this beautiful Coffee Club cup. We can all be drinking out of a Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club cup in the mornings as we share our time together. It is a beautiful day. It's starting. It's Monday. I'm hoping that you guys get to go out of the house and start your day off right today. I know this show, in many cases, sets the tone for a lot of you, especially stateside. I know some of you, like Susan, has already started her day. It's almost lunchtime, and for her. But for us here in the States, we're all just waking up. Right now, it's like 3:45 in the morning over on the West Coast in California, and it works from there. It is 6:45 here on the East Coast of Florida, or East Coast of the United States. So we have a lot of things. Yep, Jurgens. Oh, that is sad. That is sad. Man, that lady lived. I thought she was just going to live forever. I really do. And she was just an amazing woman. I love Betty White. Actually, it was funny because if you guys remember when I set up my store, I had, Bullhorn Betty, the white, merch line, and then I had the black merch line. And because I had Betty and White in the same sentence, it was flagged, but it was never flagged until after she passed away. And then all of a sudden, the Betty White was copyrighted, so they can't use that, just like, Bullhorn Betty is copyrighted. And we'll be filing those papers soon. I think that will help a lot. So again, at any rate, we want to thank Betty White. She's gone, but will never be forgotten. She was a woman that many loved around the world. Many don't know that she actually did her own hair, for her whole life, even when she was married. She lived in a very, even with all the fame and glamour, she lived a very normal life for the most part. It was amazing. She was truly just a gifted and amazing woman. And I can't say enough about Betty White. I've watched her personally since I was a child. I grew up with Betty White. I've watched her in just about every single movie that she's ever played in. And even Sophia, if you guys remember Sophia, the little gal, if I'm not mistaken in my characters, but Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. That was cute. That was a really cute movie. Maybe we'll do a tribute, and we'll start a little movie club here for Betty White. Who knows? Who knows, right? I mean, we do a lot of crazy stuff here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So who knows? We're still trying to roll out some wine with wine maybe in the evenings, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm really not. I'm waiting until the right time to launch that. I don't think that it's the right time to launch it, but I am going to try to start working on my Say What Bullhorn Betty merch line. I know a lot of people are really liking that phrase, and we will try to roll that out here in the near future. So a lot of stuff's been working. A lot of stuff's been going on. We have a lot of we just got a lot that we're wanting to roll out. Not just me, but the team. Like Olivia, I've been talking to Olivia. We're going to be making an intro coming into the Bullhorn Betty show, and it's going to be forthcoming. It's not here yet, and she's working on editing a lot of stuff right now. I want to wait until things calm down for her. As many of you know, Jonathan Lee Riches just got home. We're letting him rest up and relax just a little bit. And then I'm pretty sure, no doubt, he's going to be back on working nonstop. I don't think he has the ability to have a relaxing day. I really don't. Like, I've never seen him do it. Like, even he can be the most tired person. And even when he wakes up, he's going to be starting right off out of bed working. Like, he opens his computer up, or not computer, but his phone up, and just starts working. Like, literally as soon as his eyes wake up, he gets himself a cup of coffee, he freaking starts working. I guarantee that's what he does. So if he's watching, good morning, JLR. Good morning, V. Good morning, all of you. So I'm not sure. I haven't really talked to her. When we come back from these cases, we really just kind of not really shut down, so to speak, but we just, until we're ready. It's usually about a week or two, and then we get back into the gear of things. But when we first come back from a case, we all just kind of work on work. Olivia is so close to me. Her and I work, hand in hand with each other the most. So, and that's just really it. So even JLR, we don't really talk all that much. I don't really talk to a lot of people. And even in fairness, I really don't talk to Olivia very much when we first come back. We may have some things we have to work on, and she'll just come over to the house because it's just easier for us to sit down at the table and bang it all out versus being on the phone back and forth for a couple days. It just seems a lot easier. So I'm going to be playing, I guess for right now, she only uploaded it 15 hours ago. So I'm going to give her a few days and then we'll play it. I'm going to see if I can get a good copy for this show. It's The Faces of the Wells. I think that was really good. I think she really capsulized, the emotions from us versus the emotions from the Wells. You can kind of really see, Don and Candus just have no remorse and have no care in the world over Summer. The only time you see any kind of emotion, especially from Candus, her hands start shaking. Like, you can see in her that she's holding the phone and her hands are just shaking. And the only time she's shaking is when I'm telling her, basically, where are you? You haven't even looked for your own daughter. We're out here busting our ass and you can't even get off your ass to look for your child. And her hands are just shaking. Like, we shook her. This is not normal behavior. I mean, telling you, she's sitting there looking hard, like she's, in prison. Like she's got, like she's in prison and she's trying to look all hard. And who needs to look hard when you're missing your 5-year-old daughter? Where's the emotion from these entire people? When I was talking to Don on the phone and I asked him about the emotion, he's telling me that they're not going to go out in public and fake cry. You're missing a 5-year-old daughter. How is that fake crying? Like, I would be absolutely devastated. No, I would say that if she was shaking from the beginning to the end, yes. But when we're approaching her and asking her where Summer is and she starts shaking, that's not withdrawals. Withdrawals are uncontrollable from start to finish, from the beginning to the end. Remember, you can't do drywall with shaky hands. Drywall, you've got to apply that mud evenly. All right? You got to apply that mud evenly. So clearly she wasn't shaking before we got there. So I don't really believe that, I could be wrong, but yeah. Something was going on, but I'm telling you. Exactly. And to hear him say that they don't cry in public because it'd be fake. They're not fake people. I about fell over. I really did. I about fell over. I don't think they're withdrawal shakes. You guys can go over there. I mean, it's it's like a 16-second video. Chronicles of Olivia put that out about 15 hours ago. It's called Face to Face with the Wells. I want you guys to watch that. Slow it down. Look at her hands, man. Her hands weren't shaking the whole time. You know, I could equate that it being withdrawal shakes if it was uncontrollable. These were, she wasn't like that at the beginning, but she was like that when I started screaming at her. I shouldn't say screaming at her. I was talking. Everybody knows. So here's the deal with my talking. As many of you guys know, I'm completely deaf in one ear, and it's my right ear. I'm completely deaf in this ear. And I can't hear a thing. Like there's nothing. I've been tested since I was 4 years old. This is something I was born with. They said a nerve did not grow in. All the equipment there. I have the eardrum. I have all this, everything looks normal in there. It just doesn't work. So there's a nerve that's supposed to go to my eardrum, to hear and move my eardrum that is not there and does not work. So it was definitely something that I was born with. And at any rate, I forget where I was going with the hearing, but at any rate, I talk loud. I naturally talk loud because I can't hear. And that, a lot of people think I speak snarky. I don't know how I sound until I hear myself. And when I hear myself, I'm like, man, I sound snarky. I mean, it's just the way I talk. It really, truly is. And, even right now, when I go back and rewind, it's almost because of my hearing and I don't have the tones and everything. When I actually hear myself on the computer versus speaking, it sounds really funny to me because it doesn't sound like myself. It doesn't sound like the voice and the tone that I use, but it is what it is. So thank you, I see you. For those that would like to go see that skit on Chronicles of Olivia, I behoove you to do so. It was a great 16-second piece. But I can tell you, while I'm talking to her, her hands go to shaking. She is shook. She really is. Their body language, their facial expressions, everything, Don Wells included, look guilty. They look guilty as hell. They're acting guilty as hell. Don's calling me up at 11:30 at night, keeping me on the phone till well after 1 a.m. in the morning, talking to me, telling me he would invite me over to his house, that I can come over there as long as I'm by myself, that I can come over there and meet with him and Candus. I reached out to him a couple times since then to ask him if he was being truthful. But again, this is his MO, right? He calls me. He's called Marissa in the past, told her that he wants to meet with her. The next day, it's like, oh, nope, not doing that. It's these games. Who plays these types of games? Who? His 5-year-old daughter is missing. And who has time for games when you have a 5-year-old child missing? Makes you wonder. Where's Summer? Where's Summer? I think if we want answers to where's Summer, we don't have to look very far. In my opinion, we don't have to look very far at all. Everything that we've done. Now, mind you, I had my opinions of what I thought happened before even stepping foot in Rogersville. I did a lot of due diligence behind the scenes. I researched. I watched a lot of videos. I watched a lot of interviews. I watched a lot of things. And I formulated my opinion that Candus was involved. That Candus had something to do with this. I didn't know whether she was violent to the child or whether it was an accident, but I knew that she was more involved than she had proclaimed. I was, hesitant on even including Don Wells in that argument because it sounded like he was at work. And that's what I thought where I thought he was. But even that is becoming very murky. That statement that he made that he was at work is very murky, especially the timing in which he left work. And he left work for a little minute too. It wasn't like it was, a quick, I'm leaving work and went around the corner to McDonald's and came back. It was a lengthy disappearance. It makes you wonder. A lot of people, as we go through the Chris McDonough interview, there's a lot of things that are going on in this interview. Olivia is going to be working on, we went through the Chris McDonough interview while we were in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I was breaking it down a little bit and breaking out what I heard, what I believe, and what I feel were you know, I don't want to say lies, but just don't make sense and don't add up to the information that we've obtained. So what I can tell you is that there's a lot of contradictions in Hunter's statement that I can tell you. I'm sure many of you that have been watching this case intensely and have watched that interview with Chris Madonna, including the uncut version, you guys are hearing very well the contradictions. A couple of the contradictions were the timing of when Candus Wells called him. While I understand that a 15-year-old boy does get sidetracked with time and stuff like that, you can honestly tell whether somebody is, whether it's daylight or night, right? Whether it's daylight or night. So I'm not sure where that ding came from, but it came from somewhere. It's not on my phone. My phone's right here. And so I'm very curious because he said it was shortly after. Now, I don't necessarily mean it was directly after, shortly after he was dropped off at home. Candus called him to let him know when that summer had gone missing. Now, remember, he had said he just pulled up to the park with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's mother. Who goes to the park at night? Typically, if you're going there to play with children, you go during daylight hours. So that makes me wonder and call into question time. He later in there tells us that it was around 7:30. Again, I've been out there. 7:30 is almost dark, almost pitch black outside at 7:30. It starts getting dark around 6. 5:36 is when it starts. The sun starts settling. By 6:30, it's getting pretty dark. So, I mean, I just don't see how Hunter is pulling up to a park at dark. It sounded like that it was his girlfriend, his girlfriend's mother, and I guess her brothers or something. I don't think it was just them. I think it was younger children. I don't see a mom taking children out to play in the park at night when you can't watch them. It didn't seem like that she was that kind of person, but who knows? Who knows? Brenda, that's what we assume. We are assuming that call to H is at 7 p.m. We haven't gotten any information from law enforcement. We're going off people's statements here. And we all can agree, he says he's not good with time. So the idea that he's getting a call at 7 o'clock because he says it's 7 o'clock is not good. I believe his description of the time more so than I believe the specifics of his time, if that makes sense. So when he's saying it was shortly after, we had just pulled up to the park. I was with my girlfriend and my girlfriend's mother. That's the time that I believe he was called. Now, where that time falls, whether it's 5, whether it's 7, whether it's 6, is up for debate because we really don't know. But, using common sense is telling me that I don't see anybody pulling up to a park at nighttime. Most parks aren't lit. Maybe on our next trip, we'll go up to that park and see which park they went to and see how it looks like at night. So, we will go and test the theory. We will go test the theory. I can't, I believe that it does get dark. I mean, people are saying it doesn't get dark until 8 o'clock. Look, they have time charts. I mean, there's ways to prove the time of night, how late it gets when it settles. I mean, we can go, they have the almanac, they have a lot of stuff that we can go and use as resources to determine when it becomes dark outside. So we will do the due diligence, but I'm telling you that, the story doesn't really make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Okay. Well, we'll find out. Everybody's saying in here that it doesn't get dark until after 8 p.m. in June. So I'll do some due diligence and confirm if that information is correct. Let me just see. Time did the sun set in Rogersville? PM 6:15, 2021. Okay. It is saying, let's see, here we go. Let's see what it says here. So does have it. So January 15th. No, we want to go to June, December. Let's keep going back. We'll be able to find it. There is a guide in here that we can use. So let's just keep going back to June. But it does look like people in here may be accurate about that. I can tell you that. That's what it's looking like. That's insanity. But hey, maybe that'll help appease my mind. 8:52 p.m. around 8. Okay. So that was the issue that I had. So maybe it is possible that he said, but shortly after is always stuck in my mind. So I'm curious to see the records, the phone logs, to find out who she called. I have a funny feeling the first person she called, and it was probably early on, was Donald Wesley Wells Jr. And I think we're going to find that. We're going to find that. Yeah. Good morning, Vicki. Good morning, everybody in the chat. We're almost up to 400 people this morning, only being in for 28 minutes. So that's really good. I'm really happy. We are very thankful for each and every one of you. For many of you that aren't getting your notifications, please go out, turn your notifications to none, and then turn them back to all. If that does not work for notification purposes, you need to unsubscribe and resubscribe to this channel. Beach Bunny, very rarely do I check. People don't realize that I work very hard behind the scenes every day. So I do about 2 hours on here, and the rest of my day is consumed by research related to Summer Wells, listening intensely to other interviews, crafting this is kind of off the cuff in the mornings when I'm here. I really don't have an agenda. I mean, the only agenda I really have is discussing Summer Wells and some of the stuff that we saw while we were in Rogersville and Knoxville and Kingsport. So, but as far as, reading messages, I am trying to get to, some of you guys received responses back to your emails yesterday. I do try to, respond as much as possible. I really don't check Twitter too much. To be honest with you, I don't even check YouTube that much. Like, outside of me coming live, I very rarely am on social media anymore. If I get a ding, which I don't really get dings from social media because I've turned them all off, because when I'm on live, they just go crazy. So I turn my notifications off. I need to start remembering to turn them all back on. For those of you that have not gone over to Olivia's page, I behoove you to do so. Please like, share, and subscribe her page too. Please like, subscribe, and share her page. If you guys like what we're doing here at Bullhorn Betty, please make sure that you share this page. Where are we? We're trying to get up to 10,000 viewers, 10,000 subscribers on this channel. We're just a little over 8,000 subscribers. So we're still seeking 2,000 more members to become part of our family, our Bullhorn Betty family. So any way we can get that, let's get that. And we'll just keep moving forward, and for my moderators out there, please block any trolls. For the trolls that are out there, I don't pay attention to the comment section. My moderators are excellent. If you're a disgusting, deplorable individual, you won't even get timed out. You'll get booted right off this platform, and you can create another account, but we'll keep booting you until you go away. So shoo, fly, shoo. Why waste your time with me in the mornings if you don't even like me? Just saying. Seems pretty stupid. But as many trolls are, right? As many trolls are. Oh, no. If you got a copy of it, send it to my email, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, no. I'm going to try to get my butt up early. I need to go to bed early. I've been having a hard time sleeping. I don't know what it is. Usually I'm in bed by 8, and I'm sleeping by 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and I'm up at the crowd, in the dark. I'm up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning. And this last trip to Tennessee just really threw me off kilter. It really did. And I'm not sure why. Usually it doesn't. And I'm back. I know. I do believe that. I do believe that. I do believe that. I think, and you notice it's mostly men that are attacking me publicly. It's mostly men that are attacking me publicly. There are some women out there. There are some women, but it's mostly men. And it makes you wonder why. Makes you wonder why. Yes, there is. There is. There's some strange things that can yeah, it probably is because I'm so independent and I can go, toe to toe. So it's like maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I think they're despicable human beings. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But no doubt I will be the topic of their news. No doubt. No doubt. I'm sure that that's what they thrive. I mean, granted, think about it. If they didn't have me to talk about, they would literally have nothing to talk about. I double dog dare them to get their ratings up without talking about me. They can't. I think it's funny. They can't. Guys, listen, Mike, I got to bring my pot in here because I'm already out of coffee. So everybody stop what you're doing. Go get your cup of coffee. You guys get like a 2-second break to go get a cup of coffee. Go get a cup of coffee. All right, I'm back. 2 seconds. Cup of coffee. Cup of Joe. Gotta keep going. Gotta keep the mojo flowing. But I behoove these people that have nothing better to do than talk about me nonstop for days and days and days on end to stop talking about me. Watch their ratings tank. They can't do it. It's I am the news for them. I am stealing content and making me the topic of their conversation is all they know how to do. They would literally not have a platform if it wasn't for me. So I just don't drive this platform. I drive about 5 other platforms too. I really do. Isn't that amazing? They don't like me, but I am making them money. Gravy train will be over soon. I have tried to help Hunter. As a matter of fact, when we were down there the first time and I spoke to Allie and her concern for her son never quite being the same since that day, him shutting down, him not wanting to go to school. These are telltale signs of a traumatic event that happened, almost PTSD-like, symptoms. In reality, that's what it is. And so it's awful to think that something happened that day, but I truly do believe something did happen that day. I truly do believe something happened at the water hole. The way Candus is when she was out there with Chris McDonough, he did a great explanation of the PTSD type symptoms that she is exhibiting when she goes out there. That doesn't happen because that was the last spot that you went to with your child. You don't get those as PTSD. Let me put my little thing down. There we go. You don't get those PTSD like symptoms for that. You get that PTSD is from a major traumatic event. Okay, this is not something where this is the last place you saw somebody that has disappeared. That you don't get PTSD at a watering hole because that was the last place you saw. That's not how PTSD works. I went through a form of PTSD after I was assaulted in my early 20s. And it was, I understand it, right? So it's from trauma. It's from trauma. And when you have two main players, like nobody's talking to Grandis, right? Nobody's seeing. She's kind of hiding in the back. And as Dudley was said, she doesn't say much, but the look on her face, so she has a lot to say. That wasn't related to Summer. That was before Summer disappeared, and she was acting like that. Now that Summer's gone and she's still not breaking her silence and stuff, it makes you wonder why, what's going on, where's she at in the process, and why are the Wells so good about keeping her at bay and out of the limelight? What does she know? I mean, she has a lot of information. There are some people that are very crafty and are getting a hold of some of her friends and questioning them, and some of the information that we are receiving is kind of eye-opening about that day, right? There's many people that are talking about it. It's pretty eye-opening. Oops, sorry. I can tell you when we met with Dudley, because of Don Wells' behavior the day before, that Monday, the day that he got fired, he walks into work and Don Wells is laying in the tub and just is really bummed and not acting like himself. I mean, he was a little crazy and stuff, but he kept going back to that day, him just not being right, not being right. And I keep trying to go through my mind about what would make him act weird a day before Summer disappeared, especially since I do believe something happened at the water hole with Summer. But what happened the day before? And I was thinking, I think it has a lot to do with the fact CPS was coming. I truly believe Don Wells knew CPS was going to be taking all the children out of his home. I really do. And I think it was just a strange coincidence that, Summer ended up losing her life the day before. I believe she lost her life. I don't believe she was sold for drugs. If they wanted to sell her for drugs, they would have done it a long time ago. Period. Period. I mean, they had all these weird men in and out of that home. God knows what those children went through. And everybody keeps focusing on Summer, but what about the boys? There's some twisted people out there. What did those boys endure? Think about that. Pedophiles are not just after women or little girls, excuse me. There's a lot of little boys that suffer. And, so it's sick. The thoughts that go through my mind on the things that happened up on that mountain just make my skin crawl. It makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. We witnessed and felt the evil when we went on that road, when we went near Ben Hill Road and Beach Creek Road. It was, I can't describe it. I really wish each and every one of you, if you guys get a vacation, go to Rogersville, go to the Ben Hill and Beach Creek Road. You need to set your GPS well before you get there, because there is no reception out there. There's none. When I was out there the first time, I had reception. I had a little bit of reception, not much, but a little bit. But the last few times I went out there, I literally had none. My phone would not work at all. And I thought that was odd too. Like, I don't understand why the very first time I went to the Wells property, I had service. It was one bar, but service nonetheless. And then this time it's X, like everything's X'd on my phone. I have no service whatsoever. There's no internet, there's no service, there's nothing. And I don't understand that, because I did have service that one day. So, oh, excuse me. We've known Beach Bunny. We've known about Jose for some time. We have Jose's name. We've had Jose's name for some time. We have found his Facebook pages for some time. We have not yet reached out to him, or maybe we have reached out to him and he just not responded. But we also found out that he was recently in jail and just recently got out. So I don't know how true that is. Excuse me, I'm going to have to sneeze. Excuse me. So, I don't think the 15th has ever been confirmed. That's the date that they called in. That's the last date that anybody saw her. I have to say, and this is what people, because when Dudley was talking about the weird interaction with Don, and that he may believe, he believes, he's staying, he hasn't done any research on the case, so that tells you one thing right there. Usually people that are guilty or had a hand in it are constantly monitoring the case profusely, and it sounds to me like he hasn't been really monitoring the case. He wants to know what's going on with Summer, and he'll get little snippets on the news here and there, but he's far from monitoring the case. So, but there were eyewitnesses that saw Summer in that truck on the 15th. So I have to believe that she was in, and not only that, but if she was, that last picture of her cuticles were just purpling. So it's not like her hands were purple and blood was settling. So I have to believe that blood was pumping during that photo. Blood was pumping. It just wasn't enough. And there was somebody that was on YouTube. Sorry, guys, I got to blow my nose. There was somebody on YouTube. Thank you. There was somebody on YouTube that really explained it. I think they were a previous RN or something like that, and they were explaining how selfish the heart is, related to the pumping of the blood and what causes the purpling of the cuticles, and how that's a telltale sign that blood's not really getting to those extremities. And it's basically when you're in the process of dying, and it's sad. But if you look at that photo, and many of you guys know what photo I'm talking about, you can Google it and see it. I mean, it's not just one finger. It's almost every single cuticle bed that is visible on that photo that has that purpling on it. And that is very concerning. That is very concerning. And, I don't know how they're going to explain that to law enforcement. I don't know how they've explained that to law enforcement. I really don't. But I can tell you, I personally spoke to medical professionals myself and sent them that photo via email or direct message or something like that, and asked them for their opinion. And the opinion has been that's a very grave situation, very grave. So when I asked them about that, they said that they can't determine whether she was dead or alive in that photo, period. They can't determine that. What they can determine is that based upon those cuticle beds purpling and the whites of the hand, the stuff getting white, they're telling me that there's no possibility of blood being circulated down the arms, which is what's causing that. Good morning, vet girl. I see you. Good morning. And that is showing that the heart is not pumping blood to those extremities. The heart is pumping, but not to that extremities. So this lady that came on, YouTube and was explaining this was literally spot on with her analogy of the purpling of the cuticles. But that is like, everybody's focused and thinks that spot on the jacket is blood. But I have to agree with a lot of the professionals that are on here. We can't determine what that is. It is just a stain that looks like it's a newer stain, that it recently happened because of the transfer onto the seatbelt. If it was a dried stain, you wouldn't have the seatbelt starting to have that drop on the actual seatbelt lap, the chest part of the seatbelt that goes over her. And, again, it comes back to that being such a hot day. Why would you bundle that baby up like an Eskimo? That is, again, is showing you when you start losing blood, you start getting chills, you start getting very cold, you start getting the shivers as you're losing your life. It's part of that. Many people that are in this chat room right now that are, trained medical professionals can describe what I'm describing. That's how it was described to me. I actually witnessed my cousin losing her life. She was in the hospital. She had basically drank herself to death. And I don't think they were feeding her alcohol. Like a lot of people don't realize the only drug that when you're addicted to that can kill you from stopping cold turkey is actually alcohol. Even heroin, you get very, very sick and you feel like you're dead, but you don't die. Alcohol is the only one. And I think when she went into rehab, they weren't feeding her knowing that she was an alcoholic, and she started going downhill very quickly. And at any rate, when she was on her deathbed and dying, she was very, very cold. We had the blankets on her, pile and pile and pile, and she was shivering. She was cold, as she was losing her life. And so I understand that, but that is a part as you stop getting the blood to those lower extremities, they start getting very, very cold and cold very quickly. So, these are experiences that I have had. And with those experiences, you learn. And those are things that you can't unlearn, just like the information that we've learned related to Summer Wells and what she went through prior to her disappearance was really eye-opening. It was very sad to learn these things. And I think a lot of people don't understand the gravity into which these children were abused. Mentally and physically. And I think it's sad that people aren't, they're taking the side of the parents. These parents were not good parents to these children. They weren't. And due to their lifestyle that they had, this is exactly why Summer Wells is not there. Period. No matter how you flip the coin, no matter which avenue you take, whether you think it's an abduction, whether you think she just wandered off, whether you think, they have either way, no matter how you look at this case, the parents are responsible. Period. It was their lifestyle that led to this. If she drowned at that lake, again, their lifestyle. If somebody was abducted her, again, their lifestyle. If somebody sold her, again, their lifestyle. No matter how you look at what happened on June 15th, no matter how you look at it, Don and Candus Wells are responsible. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Period. They are responsible. So, getting up, if you want to have the belief that she wandered off, have that belief. At the end of the day, the parents are responsible. If you want to believe that she was abducted, believe that she was abducted. The parents are responsible. They brought the element to their home through their drug and alcohol use. They had strange men living in that home with young children. Thank you, Vet Girl. We love you. Love you and your support. So why is there so many Wells sympathizers out there? Because at the end of the day, no matter which road you go down, the parents are responsible. Had this child had any other parents, she would still be here. Period. Any other parents, if she was adopted, she would still be here. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Parents are responsible. No matter how you flip the coin. So it kind of makes you sick to your stomach to think that there are people that support the Wells. Because had it not been for them, Summer would still be here. The parents are responsible. If foul play is involved, guess what? The parents are responsible. Let me keep repeating that. If she was abducted, the parents are responsible. If she wandered off, the parents are responsible. If she was sold to sex trafficking, the parents were responsible. If it's foul play, the parents are responsible. You guys get this? No matter how you look at it, the parents are responsible. Yes, thank you. V says, we appreciate the viewers here that are listening instead of, it just went up again. Instead of leaving rude remarks. Yes. It's a much different morning. When we start in the morning, it's a much different atmosphere than in the afternoon when people are, you got all the trolls up. Most of the trolls, stay up until wee hours of morning. They stay up until wee hours of morning because, there are all these people, they stay up until wee hours of morning, I guess. Maybe I don't know why, but I can't do it. I can't do it as much as I try. Except last night when I have insomnia, then I'm tossing and turning, and I finally had it. My shoulders start bothering me really bad, especially this one, my left shoulder. And so sometimes at night, it hurts so bad that it just keeps me awake. And so I ended up having to get up and take some ibuprofen last night. And once my ibuprofen kicked in, I was able to go to sleep, but it didn't help. It didn't help, the time in which I went to sleep because I waited too long. So, um, yes, thank you. Thank you. And you are absolutely correct, Beach Bunny. You are absolutely correct. And it's disheartening, even Allie and them talking about the child coming over. But, nobody really believes how grave it's just like almost domestic violence. Nobody realizes how grave it is until it becomes grave, right? And a lot of people stay silent about it and don't want to get involved. And it has to be the same way. And not only that, but it makes you wonder, Allie stayed there too. And I don't know if I would let my children stay in a house like that, where there's drugs just free flowing in that home. So it makes you, I always believe, and I don't want to speak ill, but I try to apply it correctly, and it makes you wonder: was Allie in there using drugs too? Like, why would you be living in that home? Why? I mean, I don't hang around drug addicts, so for me to go in a home and stay the night in a home where there's free flowing drugs, children are drinking booze. That's not something I would condone. As a matter of fact, I would detest and get my ass out of there as quickly as possible. So, yes, I believe that they witnessed a lot of this stuff, and it makes you wonder why they did not report it long before it got to this point. Okay, for those people, I'm going to tell you again, we can watch the TBI thing. Evidence, listen, despite what you think, at this point, there would be evidence of an abduction. Ripped screen, shoe prints going into the house, shoe prints in the back. You hear about these kid prints, right? From everybody else but law enforcement. The only thing that comes out of law enforcement's mouth is there's no evidence of an abduction. Do you know what that means? They're not looking at abduction as a possibility. When there's no evidence of abduction, they move on. They're looking at foul play and the real possibility of her wandering off. If she had just wandered off with all the boots on the ground that law enforcement had, they would have found her. I know people don't want to believe that, but look at Elijah Kensinger. Look how quickly they found a wandering kid in a whole mess of woods. They found him and brought him home, and he was cold. But when you have a missing child in the woods and you put, 200 to 300 agents, you find that child. They have never found her. If you go to Beach Creek and Ben Hill Road for an abduction, you need to be able to park your car. You would be very surprised. There is no place to park a vehicle. None. You have to literally park in the road. It would stick out like a sore thumb. And if you guys watch our videos, you see how many people pass by. There is no way. There's just no way nobody would have saw nothing. Neighbors are running up and down Ben Hill Road. They would have noticed if the car was impeding them from being able. I mean, look at Stinton Has the Soup. You can barely get two cars on Ben Hill Road. Where would this person have parked? You had 21 dogs up there. You could hear them barking. Where would they have gone? Where would they have been able to go up on that property without being 21 dogs on the top of that mountain. 21 dogs, guys. Put that into perspective. 21 dogs. Do you guys even know what 21 dogs look like? I'm telling you, believe what you want to believe. But there's no evidence of an abduction. And I'm thinking with 21 dogs, not knowing where a child is at, no fingerprints from it. This person would have had to know exactly where this child was. The mom didn't even know where she was. So I wish people that believe that this was an abduction just took the time out of their day, go to Rogersville, Tennessee, look at that property, and then tell me how you feel after you see it. Did somebody drop my PayPal link? Please. And you guys got to remember, I mean, Candus passed out on the regular. She drank from daylight to dark. She really did. She drank from daylight to dark. She passed out many times. Summer has gone out of that house before. We heard eyewitness testimony that she's been locked out of the house multiple times, locked out. And her mom didn't even realize she was outside. Locks the doors, goes in, drinks, carries on with her day, and Mom, let me in. You're talking about somebody that was constantly, she had to take care of herself. Her mom did not take care of her. Her mom did not bathe her. Don described all three of the boys and his daughter and himself cramming into a small shower to take a shower together. I mean, that must have been horrible. That's what he described. Yes, they do. They do. I'm going to try to get my car into the shop today to find out. I'm hoping it's something simple. If many of you guys know, we have a place called Babs Mechanic Shop. It's really good for those that are in the Sarasota or Bradenton area. They are very, I took the car there. They were able to fix it. The last time when it was the ignition coil, I think it's something stupid. I really do. I'm hoping it's something stupid. But I just don't have the time to look through it. It's a little colder outside. It's been raining outside. And I just, I just don't feel like screwing with it. So I'm going to take it over there. I just wanted to give them kudos because they are a great mechanic shop, and they're not as well known as a lot of other mechanic shops. They're very reasonably priced and everything like that. So if you guys are in and around Manatee County, Sarasota County area, I definitely recommend Babs Mechanic Shop for any and all of your auto mechanic needs. So please just be cognizant of that for those that are in Florida. And even if you're a little further away, I'm telling you, it's worth going down. It's worth for the drive down. It really is worth the drive up or the drive down to get there, because they are reasonably priced, and he knows what he's doing. So I'm very pleased with him, and he's very capable of doing all work. He's got all the stuff. Not the prettiest shop, I gotta say, not the prettiest shop in the world, but definitely great service. And for me, it's literally across the street, and they drive me back and take care of my car, and it's nice for me. So anyways, let me go back here and read. Yes, I believe Grady Judd would have this. I wish, Grady Judd was in Tennessee. I would behoove Hawkins County, Ronnie Lawson, TBI. Grady Judd here in Florida is one of the best sheriffs we have. He really knows his stuff. He really, really knows his stuff. Oh, thank you, Emma. You're such a sweetheart. I love you. You're very sweet. Thank you. He really knows his stuff. I know sometimes it's hard for law enforcement to reach out to people that have been there, done that. But if I could give them any tidbit of advice, I would call Grady Judd. I really would. He has stared some of the most evil monsters in their face. And trust me, something like this, he has dealt with time and time again. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I've got to take care of something real quick. Let me just see if I can put something on for you guys to watch real quick. Let me see if I got something for my first. I really haven't been posting. I need to post some more videos. some computer videos. There we go. I need to post some, oh, that's empty. What? There we go. Oh, wow. I do have a lot of stuff in here. Great. Thank God. But the question is, do I have the goods on Summer Wells? I don't think this is the file for Summer Wells. I really don't. I do have the pictures. Good, I got some thumbnails in here. That's good. I'm happy to hear that. Let me pull up some videos and see if I got some older videos that I can show you from our first trip there. I would like to show them to you. Let me see if I can. You know, a lot of people don't realize that I've had a great I've had a really, you know, since I've been out here, I've really got, oh my goodness, sorry guys. And even Gabby Petito, I was out there. We fight hard when we get associated with these cases. We really do. We fight hard. We ask questions. You know, this is something related to domestic violence. I think this goes into hand in hand with our, you know, conversation, even though it's on a different case. So I'm Andra. I am a Florida activist. I'm here, you know, I'm what they tagged as the Bullhorn lady or Bullhorn gal. I don't know what they call me, Bullhorn woman, whatever. So tell me what your name is.
Isaiah Thompson.
Isaiah Thompson?
Haley.
Haley?
Carl.
Okay. So what brings you guys, I'll start with you. What brings you out here today?
To pay respect to Gabby for everything.
Yeah. All you guys are in the same.
We're classmates.
Yeah.
So
Okay. And if you guys don't mind, I'm not trying to intrude in any way, but what's your ages? What's your age?
I'm 18.
You're 18?
24.
24.
So we got an 18 and 24. How do you guys feel about domestic violence?
It's horrible.
It's a global pandemic that's still going on around the world.
And where do you feel the disconnect is? Do you feel that it's violence in the home that they're currently in? Do you feel that it's a behavioral issue at a young age? We'll start with you.
I think it's something that can be different issues. Some can be raised to be violent through their parents beating them and stuff like that, or it can go all the way where they're just they need help.
Gotcha. And what is your feelings about it as a woman? You know, a woman's perspective.
It could be the way they're raised, you know, the environment that they're in, video games, music, friends.
Right.
A lot of like the father figure, I feel like, is a huge part as well.
Okay. And what about you?
I'm gonna say, like the same thing that he said. It's like exactly what I was gonna say.
Okay. So with this situation, are you guys from this local area?
Yeah.
Okay. So this hits home for you.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you feel? How do you feel about the laundries? Do you feel the parents know more than they're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I drove by here and the energy was just like so, it was bad. And I drove by when the parents looked on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it just felt like a weird,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And for the last 30 seconds, do you have any more to add about this, you know, related to what you feel is going on here?
I feel if he was innocent, he should have came forward a lot sooner and helped the police solve this case, because I mean, she was a young individual and she still had a life ahead of her. So I definitely think they should have gone forward with it.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Jonathan will be up there. Thank you so much for your time. So again, these are things that we do. These are things that we've been doing for a very long time. That was some people, that I was interviewing out in front of Gabby Petito's prior home, and that was the Dirty Laundry House. We've been doing some things with these cases. And actually, that was the case that branded me as Bullhorn Betty. Before that, I was just Andra. And after that case, and it stuck. A lot of people were calling me Bullhorn Betty. I decided to embrace the name. And who's the mole mod? Curious. Yeah, TV, I can make mistakes. A lot of the stuff, people, I think, and it puts an undue pressure on law enforcement because people think they make no mistakes and that they're almost Supermen, right? They're not. They're not. And I can tell you, yeah, I'm curious. Okay. Please do bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Oh, we know you joke, Emma. We know you love us. We know you love us. I don't think people worry about you too much. So, yes, we will be, we've covered a lot of cases. I'm very proud and pleased of the work that we've done. Let's see what this one is. They're having a delivery of some sort here. We videotaped everything, literally deliveries. These are God knows what. I mean, this was an insane and intense, and that's what's so sad about this is because there was nonstop media coverage. Like they rented spaces on people's property and kept cameras asphyxiated on that home nonstop for over 5 weeks. And then you've got something like Summer Wells missing, and you barely have any media. If it wasn't for the social media aspect of this case, you would have no media attention at all on this case. And it's sad. When I was out at Kathleen Moore's, there was literally, like, this was in my backyard. It was in Pasco County, just similar to, I used to live in Northport, believe it or not. Many people don't know that. I used to live in Northport, not too far from where the Dirty Laundry home was. This actually hit very close to home for me. And it's very upsetting that, there was nonstop media attention, national media attention that's set up for literally weeks on end and kept cameras 24 hours a day asphyxiated on that, affixed on that house, that Dirty Laundry house, watching every move that went on. Oh yes, Christina. Brian Enton and he has my phone number. I actually have his phone number. I can reach out to him and provide him any information at any time. I haven't talked to him since we left there. I know Olivia keeps in contact with him and Mike with Fox. And I don't, if many people know that, I'm not really the most person that contacts it. I love you all, but I really don't contact you. Maybe once a year I'll send out have a happy Thanksgiving, have a Merry Christmas type of text message to everybody. But for the most part, I don't stay on the phone nonstop. If I'm on the phone, it's to handle business. It's not really to keep, and I need to get better with it because it's all about, maintaining and keeping open dialogue and maintaining relationships and stuff like that. And it was just a sad story. We went out to Moab. We spoke to Moab police about the domestic violence aspect because my biggest concern was, here you got Gabby out there. She was ready to take a charge. And many people know my past and the charges that I took for my abuser. So I didn't get abused 10 times worse if he went to jail. People don't understand that that's real, but it is. Even Gabby was about to do it. And shortly after that, she was dead. and so I think law enforcement kicks themselves, because I think they would have rather have put her in jail than her lose her life. And that's really what it comes down to. And they've got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work around the country to do on this domestic violence aspect. But the problem is not just law enforcement. Everybody wants to blame law enforcement. But it's a mental, like even when they put Brian in a hotel and put him under a fake name. So, under their protocols, they gave him no resources. Like if they really thought he was a domestic violence victim, you would think that they would give him resources. Yeah. But it gave him, they didn't give him any wraparound resources, like battered shelters. They didn't give them any kind of meetings to go to with other domestic violence survivors. They just did not. I mean, outside of them taking him to a hotel under a different name for 24 hours, that was it. That was all that they did for domestic violence in Moab, Utah. And there's got to be more that goes to that, because whenever you're a domestic violence victim, it's not about just separating that person for the night, because the very next day they go right back. They go right back. It's an illness. It's you have almost a Stockholm syndrome. You have almost a codependency. You depend on that person, even as horribly as they treat you, and you keep going back. So they have to break the cycle of the abused person. And the only way that they can break the cycle of the abused person is removing them from the abuse for a significant amount of time. 24 hours is not enough. You got to get them into a shelter. You got to get them into a psychiatrist. You got to get them to purge whatever is making them keep going back and allowing themselves to get beat. Mine was childhood trauma. Mine was childhood trauma and anesthetizing myself almost on a daily, so I didn't have to think about it. It was not a good life for me. It was not a healthy life for me. And so, taking somebody out of the situation for 24 hours is not enough. It's just not. But we had a lot of people show up and show love and support. It's much different than Summer Wells. The people that show up are more about hate and foulness and not really, in my opinion, doing the right thing for Summer Wells. It to me is very sad. I wish it would be different, but it's not, and it makes me wonder why. But again, it's not. I would love nothing more than media to set up nonstop. I would love nothing more than media to set up nonstop outside of the Wells home like they did the Dirty Laundry parents. I really would. But it's not going to happen. Actually, February 4th is Summer's birthday, Joe. It's actually February 7th at 1 p.m. is when he's going to be facing the judge. We can only hope. So Emma, the inside knowledge we have is that almost everybody that was in and around the Wells prior to Summer missing that were friends with them are no longer friends with them. That should be a true testament to how they feel about whether they were involved or not. Their behavior, when you're around somebody for a significant amount of time, yourself if there is a behavioral change. You know it yourself. Once you spent so much time, like for example, your friends. Okay, just let's think of let's just put this in perspective for everybody. So you guys, I'm sure everybody has friends that they deal with on a normal basis, whether your friends have children or it's a couple or it's a single mom or whatever, and you're hanging out with them on almost a daily basis. You're around them nonstop and everything like that. Well, let's just play devil's advocate. If their child disappeared and you've seen a significant behavioral change, something that makes you say, this isn't right, they have something to do with it, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to distance yourself from those folks. I don't care if that's been your best friend for 15 years. You're going to distance yourself from those people. Every person that was friends with Don and Candus Wells prior to Summer disappearing, except maybe one or two people, have completely dissolved any friendship with those people, with the Wells. That is a true testament. Block Rainy. So whoever, June Mullins is saying block Rain. I don't know over what. We need to find out. Hold on a second. Let me go up here. And I've heard that name before in other chats, so I don't know if Rain is a friendly or not, to be honest with you. I really don't. And when I saw the name, I was actually questioning, and then we hear that she needs to be blocked or he needs to be blocked. So I think an abundance of caution, just kick him out, boot him. Okay. Rain is blocked. And I don't really care what dream they had about me, to be honest with you. I really don't. I can honestly say I had nothing to do with her disappearance. You know, I don't break any laws. There was a time when I did. But I can tell you the laws I broke were not domestic violence related. Just saying. Yeah, everybody wants to throw that in my face like it was. Nobody understands what I walk through better than I do. So, and the only other people that understand it are the people that also lived it. And believe me, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. There are many women out there that took that walk, you know, and not only that, but multiple people. Like I was attracted to really bad dudes. These are felons. In some cases, like one of them has been in prison for a really, really long time. You know, they have no earthly idea, none. And I'm tired of 7 to Life. Rain is already blocked. I blocked Rain myself, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm sure whoever it is will just create another account and come back in here. They got nothing better to do. Exactly. I don't condone violence. I really don't. You know, and it was funny because somebody's like, I can't believe she said that. I asked Don why he hasn't beat up Candus. And I actually don't think I said that to him, but I said that on Marissa's live. But at the end of the day, if you touched a hair on my child's head or my grandchildren, because that's what I have, is I have grandchildren. I never had children. People are like, how do you have grandchildren, not children? Because when I married my husband, he had a daughter that he raised himself. The first grandchild, Holly, was only 6 months old when I got with him. So and she had 3 grandchildren. She had Holly, Kaylee, and Riley. And all 3 of them, or 2 of them, came after, you know, I was married to their grandfather. So, you know, even though my stepdaughter and I, you know, she was older, we had our share of problems, you know, but the grandchildren, those are my grandchildren. And I just keep thinking, if anybody hurt the head of my grandchild, I don't care how anti-violent I am, I would be whipping somebody's ass. I would be whipping somebody's ass like there was no tomorrow. Lock me up. I would smile for that mugshot. Believe that. Believe that. So there are certain things that I would be willing to go to jail for, and there are some things worth fighting for. I can tell you what I've been to jail for was poor decisions in men. In reality, it cost me a lot. I'm glad looking back, I'm not really happy that I had to walk the life that I had to walk, but I would not be here right now. I would not be doing the work I'm doing right now had it not been for all that that horribleness that I walked through. Really, I wouldn't. I would probably be in a an office in New York doing legal work and, making a lot of money. I really would. I was I'm still very, very smart. I was always smart, always did well in school. I didn't even have to try. When I was at school, I skipped 100 out of 180 days. I barely passed, but I passed, right? I didn't have to go. School didn't challenge me like it should have challenged me. It really didn't. Even college, when I went to college, learning the law and stuff like that, I really had this knack of reading things once or twice, and it stays in my head. I remember things that I shouldn't remember from when I was a baby. I remember stuff when I was 12 and 18 months old. I still remember them vividly. So I was blessed and gifted in that aspect of my life. But it was just the childhood trauma, the life I just couldn't shake, and just was never comfortable in my own skin, and never comfortable. And now I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with every aspect of my life. Do I have insecurities? Of course. I think everybody naturally has insecurities about themselves. And, it's how you deal with those insecurities that really define you. I just try to move forward. This is a calling. I can tell you, you guys watch how much hate and how much I get beat up, yet I show up every morning here. I still show up, and I still am talking about summer, and I'm still talking about the parents and how I think the parents are involved. And you guys watch how much I go through. You do. I mean, you guys get to see what the whole team is living through just for taking this case on, when we were told not to take it on, So, and we will continue to keep fighting, and we'll continue to keep fighting for the next victim too. And we will continue to go out and find out the information that nobody's willing to take their time out of their day to go find out. We're going out there, and we're going to be front and center, and we're going to find out the information, and we're going to bring it back to you and let you make your own decision. I'm going to give you my opinion. I will always give you my opinion. But I also provide you the information and show you the what we saw, so you can make your own opinion. You don't have to take my opinion. It was very exhausting. Think about it being there. And we didn't even go live. If you guys walked with us the whole entire time, you guys would not believe where did we come up with all this time? How did we get here? And not only that, but we had a 3 hour, we lost 3 hours every single day going from Knoxville to Rogersville. 3 hours. So take our work and add 3 hours every single day on top of it, because that was drive time. That was drive time. Thank you. I really don't promote the wish list because I was getting beat up so bad for it. And so we did, and many people don't understand, we are crowdfunding for things that we need on the wish list. You're more than welcome to go there and purchase. I mean, I even got cards. I got, hotel, like $25 hotel cards. We need, there's a lot of stuff that we need. I may put food cards on there, the things that we need on the road. We need hotel accommodations. I can't find anything for gas cards on Amazon. I can't find anything for, auto rentals on Amazon. So the only gift cards that I can put on there that would really help the team out is food cards and hotel cards. Hotel.com is really the only one that I can really find that's worth. They have a lot of hotels in their on their platform, so I opted for those. I didn't even do Expedia. I may throw Expedia on there if they have one. I thought I saw that, but those are the things that the team needs, and it's just basically crowdfunding, right? So what we do is whoever can, and I will tell you that PayPal is the only one that is truly not touched. If you truly want to help with the crowdfunding of our wish list, the best way to crowdfund on our wish list is through the PayPal app, which is right there, paypal.me/Bullhorn Betty. And the reason why I say that is because I don't touch that money. I wait until the money builds up and I purchase things off the wish list. That is crowdfunding. So we take, and I just got a, $5.62 PayPal donation. And that's amazing because really a lot of our donations are $20 or less. So, right. No, I'm not asking for pillows. I'm not asking for decor on the house. And this is truly stuff for, hotel accommodations. We've got some machetes on there. People are like, what do you need machetes for? Well, many of you guys know that we go out in the woods and search for people. We legitimately, we're not just here talking about helping. We actually go out and help. And some of those woods are so swampy and have so many vines and stuff like that it really does help to have those machetes. I didn't even realize how good machetes were until Caribbean Kool-Aid came out to search for Ruth, aka Edie Sakala, and we were out there getting just like all the vines and stuff. So she pulled out that machete and just started to whack it and just cleared out. I mean, just and cleared us a path. And I thought, our team needs stuff like that. That's stuff we don't have that we need, and it costs real money. So I know I've gotten a few donations specifically for machetes. I have enough money to purchase one machete from donations, and it was great. But those are things that we need. These are things that somebody donated us some latex gloves. Again, things that we need out in the field. We've got some of the bigger ticketed items. Many of you guys know my computer shuts down every day. So big ticketed items are like the computer. I've got a MacBook Pro on there, under $1,000. These are things that, and as you know, MacBook Pros are $2,600 brand new. So these are, I'm very cautious with the money and try to budget as much as possible. But it's not something I can afford to do all by myself. So I crowdfund. So anybody that wants to donate to the wish list, but don't want to purchase, the specific items themselves, you can donate to the PayPal account. Right now we have so we have good, we are transparent to our fans. I really don't care. The haters are going to hate and tear me down as much as they can anyways. They just don't like me. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do to make them like me. So we currently have $261.86 in our PayPal account that will be used right now to purchase items off the wish list. I'm hoping that is raised up a little higher, but some of the things that we're needing in addition to the machetes are, SD cards. What do we have on there? Machetes, SD cards. We've got some like $25 hotel.com gift cards that we need. The bigger ticket items are a drone that would really help Olivia and some of the work that she's doing. We've got a computer and a cell phone on there. Again, those are want items for me that I will be purchasing off the wish list item myself once I collect enough money, if they're not purchased by a Good Samaritan or crowdfunded. Where I can afford it, those will be applied. So I just like to be transparent with my viewers because I know we get so much hate and it's very confusing to people and what we need. I'm not buying couches. I'm not, paying for the lights here at my home out with those funds. I'm not doing that. I have other sponsors that help support me to make sure my bills are paid. What I do on here really does go to the work that we're doing. And I really try to make sure every single penny is accounted for and every single penny goes into these cases. So just rest assured on that. I work work tirelessly on these cases. We are on Summer Wells right now. You know what? And people don't realize we're still working behind the scenes on Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner. I mean, we stay busy. We stay super, super busy. All of us, not just me. Like Jonathan Lee Riches, it's nice seeing him go live here and there. He's kind of breaking out of his shell a little bit. I love that. We're getting Olivia because I think you need more perspectives. Oh, thank you. Oh, I love you. Thank you so much. It will be applied. Yes. Thank you. Truth Teller is another great supporter of the Bullhorn Betty channel. We've got a few of you guys that support us, not just financially, but in other ways. And we thank everybody that supports us. We really do. Without you, this channel would not be possible. I can tell you that we get emails after emails after emails from you guys doing research and stuff like that. That's real time out of your day, out of your life that you do, that you put in to help us and help Summer's Army and help the next victim or in the next case. I mean, it's amazing. I talk all the time about how, you know, before I came on YouTube, you know, I got a big following on TikTok. I need to go back to my TikTok family and start dropping some videos. I really haven't been there for a little minute. And I kind of miss the TikTok family. The TikTok really helped grow me to who I am. You know, nobody would really know me around the world had it not been for TikTok and the Gabby Petito case. I can tell you that, you know, I didn't even realize what TikTok famous meant until I walk into a store and people knew who I was. You know, I've never had that experience before. It's a new and interesting experience. Now I'm used to it. People don't get so crazy and wild with me walking into the store. They'll say something like, "Oh, I've seen you on TV," or "Oh, I've seen you here," or "I know what you do. We want to thank you." I can tell you when we're out in the field, we get nothing but love. The only place that we get really hate is social media, is haters on social media. When we're out in the field, nobody ever walks up to us and says, "We don't like what you're doing. Go home." You know, everybody flocks to us when we're out in the field. Everybody flocks to us and just thanks us and gives us hugs. Some of them cry, you know, some of them cry. Yeah, I do need a PO box. I need a break. There's so many things that I need to be doing. And I tell you, I get lost in all the details. I really do. But I will go over there and open up a PO box here in the near future. I would probably say, I'm trying to look at my schedule. I probably won't be able to do it until the beginning of February, to be honest with you, the first or second week of February. So I may do it before the end of the year. I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff going on here. And it just prevents me. You know, you got to go there. You got to meet somebody. You got to fill out paper. It's so time consuming. I don't know how time consuming opening up a box is. If anybody knows how time consuming it is to open up a PO box, please let me know. If there's a way to do it online, I will get it done today. So good morning for those that are just coming in. We have a little over 600 people on the channel right now. If you guys would love to go out there and like this page and like this program, please do so. You know, those like buttons really help drive this page and the messaging up to the top. We have grown leaps and bounds, and it's a great testament to the work that we're doing as a team and the work that we're doing here on Bullhorn Betty. And I'm just very thankful for the love and support. We are over 8,000 subscribers right now, 8,000 subscribers. Yes, happy Martin Luther King Day. We did discuss that. Here's the option 1 coffee club cup. This is the one that has the smoke that spells out coffee. This is actually option number 2 with the more sleek coffee cup. So depending on what your preference is, please go out and get your Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club cup. I know we have a lot of diehards in here, people that we see every single morning. Thank you. Thank you. Every single morning. And you guys are my diehards, and I love you and thank you. So we are really blessed and thankful that you guys make this show. And I could come up here and talk all day long, 8 hours a day, and without viewers to watch me, it would be absolutely worthless and meaningless. Without each and every one of you pushing my channel up on the ratings, I would be nothing. I would be nobody. And I really do thank you. I thank you with my whole heart that you guys see the work that we're doing and support it. There's a heck of a lot more support than there isn't. I can tell you that. We see it each and every day. Yes. It's a pretty cup. And I designed it myself. Many of you guys don't realize that. And even though I'm going to start, you know, I've got the whole Adobe program on this computer. And I can literally make some of the best films and stuff through Premiere. I have not yet started learning how to use it. I need to, because not only do I need to learn it for myself, but at the end of the day, Olivia, she has so much work to do. Being able to take some of that load off of her, I don't think I'll ever be as good as her, but taking some of that load off of her and giving her stuff that's already cut, cleaned up, all this other stuff just to help her out would be amazing. And I hope I'm able to help one day. Yes, Heather. Yes, Heather. So I am in Florida. I'm in Florida. I'm in the United States and I'm in Florida. People are looking for the Amazon link. If some of you guys want to drop the Amazon link again, I appreciate it. Oh yes, Miss Fit. She does. And I got to tell you, she is I need to record her doing one of these editing things, because I mean, it is just mind blowing. She's like, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, slow down. It literally, watching her pop through these screens makes my head spin. Like, I can't. I got to start pacing after watching like 2 minutes of her. I start pacing just to shake all this movement. It's almost like motion sickness when I watch her doing these editings and videos and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Marriott Island, Florida. Great. Yeah, great. We've got a lot of Florida people in here. I can tell you that. Here's the Amazon wish list for those that are interested. Again, it's never meant for you guys to buy the big ticketed items. We crowdfund for those. Of course, we'd never turn a donation like that away, but we do crowdfund. We realize money's tight, not just for us here at the Bullhorn Buddy channel, but also those abroad. We really try to crowdfund and utilize those funds to the best of the ability. We're not furnishing the house. We're not, doing those types of things. We are utilizing those wish list items to help propel the team and the team objectives, and getting the team the proper equipment needed to handle these cases and bring more footage to you guys. I think the drone footage, that would be amazing. When Olivia starts working with the drone and starts bringing, and I've got a 4K res drone want on the wish list item. And I she's so good. I just can't wait to see what she's going to be able to do with the drone. It's really, just the thought of it just makes my head just want to go boom. Like, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Every time we've ever had to use drone footage, we have to bring somebody in that mans the drones, that works the drone, that's able to get the proper footage that we need. We've got this Gabby Petito case that is really, we were there from beginning to end. We monitored the case when they were searching out there. I've got so much amazing footage of that case and content for that case that we have not ever released to the public eye, ever. And we're still sitting on that right now. Thank you. Oh, there you go. They actually have tumblers too, Darlene. They have a 20-ounce tumbler there that will help keep your Diet Mountain Dew nice and cold. And it does have the Coffee Club logo on it. So that might be an alternative for you. And it'll be more than the Coffee Club. I like the mug, but I drink coffee all day long. I do. I drink coffee all day long. And I may get the tumbler here in the near future just so I can have more coffee in my coffee cup. Many of you know I can drink this stuff all day. I do drink this stuff all day. I'm surprised my teeth aren't like this, like the color of my coffee. That's how much coffee I drink. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. So yes, guys, please like and share and subscribe to this channel if you're feeling like joining in and supporting us on a monthly like sponsorship, so to speak. I've got 4 different ways that you can join. It's $3.99, $9.99, $19.99, and $49.99, depending on what your level of sponsorship will be. I will tell you that once we will be rolling out, different benefits for those memberships. We just don't have them now. So you are actually, oh, thank you, James. I love you. Thank you. That will go toward a lot. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And, we will be rolling out, different membership stuff. I just don't have time for it now. There will be a time when we slow down a little bit and we can start figuring out, we've got a lot of different ideas rolling around that I really think, and one is I think going to be an amazing. I don't want to, you got to be careful what you say because people will steal your ideas, right? But one of our ideas is actually going to be collaborating with many other real crime icons, in this industry on YouTube. And we will be reaching out with them to collaborate with us on this one project that we have. And it's really going to be bringing cases in a whole different way, multiple cases that that they're working on, we're working on. And I'm hoping that, we for the national type cases, we all, I think, cover the same thing in different ways. Of course, we all have our own way of covering certain cases, but there are a lot of true crime YouTubers out there that are covering different cases, not so well-known cases that need to be, better known and brought to the forefront of social media. And I've got some ideas that are going to help facilitate that for people, right? And that's really important. And that's something that we need to collaborate on. I know I've got some true crime people that are here with the coffee club almost every day, getting some information about Summer Wells. I applaud you guys for helping keep her name even on your channel up and giving them the most information possible. I really do appreciate that. I know some people are question the strategies that we use, but those are our team strategies. Other teams can handle their cases the way that they want to handle their cases. Nobody's telling people how to handle them. We just don't, we strategize and we find the best strategy for our team. Some of the stuff we do is controversial. So what? You know what? At the end of the day, people are talking about us, right? And if they're talking about us, they're talking about Summer. Because you can't really have one without the other, can you? Even when they dog me, people are coming over this channel and learning about Summer Wells. So it's not all for nothing. It really isn't. It is strategic by design in many cases. The level of hate toward me for covering this case, it was a little more than I had anticipated. But that's okay. If anybody knows anything about me or the team, we always take things and flip it for our benefit. We have a way of doing it. It's an amazing gift, but it comes down to strategy. Being able to take some of that hate and flip it around and make it and utilize it for our benefit, which we do. And I think that unnerves and angers people more than anything in the world. Because every time somebody says Bullhorn Betty or says my name, people flock to my channel. Oh, yeah, Misfit. I hear you. That's interesting. I wonder what they are. Behavior panel. Let me write that down. I'm interested. It's piqued my curiosity. See? And like this. Now people in this channel are going to say, the behavior panel? Let me go check it out, right? That's how it works. That's how it works. It's funny how that works out, isn't it? It's just people think they're dogging somebody and they're actually helping them, because once people come here and they feel my vibe and get to know me and see the work that we're doing and realize that we literally stop at nothing to get to the truth and to get the answers. People tried. I think it's just like almost the what do they call it? In college where they have to do all these things. What is it called? Somebody's going to say it. This initiation process. They actually have a terminology for it in college that they're not allowed to do anymore. So hold on. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me. Yeah, good. Top 4 body language experts. I love body language. I read books about it. That's why I pick up. Am I an expert at it? No, but I can call bullshit. I really can. Hazing. Thank you. I think our team is going through the YouTube hazing process right now to see if we are strong enough to survive. That's really what I believe in. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. But I can tell you, we will be here for a long time. We will be here for a long time, and YouTubers are just going to have to make room for us. We're not bad people. Again, controversial in what we do. But people that typically, even the people that don't like me, once they sit down and actually have a phone conversation with me and talk to me, they realize that my heart's truly in the right spot, that I'm truly fighting for victims, that it's not about clout, money, clicks, likes. I mean, there are things that you have to do in order to survive, right? This stuff is tough work. It takes money, it takes time. But that is important factors. I mean, at the end of the day, it is important factors in what we do. But it's not the driving force behind us. It's just not. And I think people that get to know us and see the work that we're doing realizes that, nobody is doing this level of work for clicks and likes. They're doing it because they really want to bring the story and the case to the people that support them. And that's what we do. We just want to remove this idea, especially with these Wells parents. I think it comes down to us wanting to remove the idea that these parents had nothing to do with it. And it's a driving force for this team, because we know beyond a reasonable doubt in our minds, the ones that actually went out there and did the work and interviewed people and interviewed the key players and interviewed all these things, we have determined, and much like law enforcement has the hardest job, right? They know the stuff that we know, but now they have to put it into a case and prove it. That is a very difficult thing to do. They have a tireless job, a thankless job, and then they got people like me that push them to work harder and do better, and hold them accountable. Make them more transparent when they don't really want to be transparent. So it is. I get it. I do get it. I get why people feel some way about me. I get it. But it's not going to change my strategies. It's not going to change how I focus on a case. These are things that work for our team. They've been effective in the past. They will be effective in the future. And, it's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, yay. I can't wait. You know what? You're going to have to send me a picture. I'll blur out your face. I'll crop it. Or put a mask on or something like that. And you know what, guys? That would be fun. If you guys don't want your face on this channel, start sending me. If you guys got Bullhorn Betty swag, whether it's the cup, whether it's the hoodie, whatever swag you got, start sending me photos of you guys in Bullhorn Betty swag. If you guys want to obscure your face, crop your face out. Okay. If you want me to do that for you, I'll put a big old black bubble over your face before it goes on this channel. Just let me know in the email that you want to be obscured, and I'll make sure that happens for you. But that would be great. Start sending me your swag. I'd love to start showing people with the Bullhorn Betty merchandise. I thank you guys all. You guys are really supporting a great cause. I promise you. You guys see me on here. I work very hard for you, the viewer. We're 100% viewer sponsored. And without you, none of this would be possible. Jen, how are you, my love? How are you? Small town, got to get your mug. Yes, guys, get your mug. Get your mug. It's you guys are sponsoring a great cause. You're sponsoring the team. You're sponsoring me. You're sponsoring, a lot of the stuff. It's commingled, like even the wish list, it's commingled. It's a bunch of the team members wants. Some of them are absolute needs, but we put them all on one list so we can crowdfund And right now, Olivia's not really doing lives. Jonathan's not doing lives. So I'm the one that's getting the messaging out. And I don't see how having 3 different Amazon wish lists are going to benefit you guys or the team. It's going to be confusing. So we really, that link for the wish list will always be the link for the wish list. What we do is as stuff is needed, we put it on the same wish list. We just have a rolling a needs/wants type of wish list item for the team. And I think that'll be great because you guys can keep one link. And, if you feel moved to donate and purchase something on the wish list, you can definitely do that. I'm going to be adding more thumb cards. We're in dire need of decent thumb cards. I got thumb cards here, but the quality of the thumb cards suck. So sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's just, if anybody knows me, I'm cheap, and I got to quit being so damn cheap because the products I get end up failing me. The Dell computer, the smashed up Dell computer, on the other hand, cost me a pretty penny. I ordered it directly from Dell and haven't even had it a full year, and it's already smashed and broken. Go figure. So never had that happen before, but there's always a first for everything. But anyways, we got a cup going all the way to Australia. I love Australia. I can't wait until this whole COVID stuff is over. I actually intend on getting my passport. I do not have a passport. I do not leave the country. I have never left the country before in my life. But I would, we have so much support in the UK and over in Australia. It makes me want to go and visit your beautiful country. I have never been there. It's something that I would love to do, and can't wait to really go over there. Will I do a meet and greet? Probably not, but I probably would do something where I can have, I guess it would have to be designed as a meet and greet, but I need to find out where all the people are in Australia and the UK that watch this show and try to find something centrally located or located to the majority of the viewers in your areas. So. This is an open forum, Tiger. We talk about a lot of things. I'm on here for 2 hours. We're going on the top of 2 hours. I've spent over an hour talking about summer. I've talked about Gabby Petito. I talk about a lot of our cases. We have a wind down thing. So I'm sorry if it's something you don't like, you don't have to be here. Yeah, you don't have to be here. It's pretty simple, People like this show because it's not just, we relax and we try to bring people in. But yeah, I have to explain some things because the haters like to bash me over the head for these things. So if I have to talk about why we have a wish list, that's not something I really care to talk about. That's something I'm being forced to talk about. Just FYI to the haters that are in here that want to say, oh, I thought it was about Summer Wells. It is. This is all about Summer Wells. You kidding me? Kira Carpenter said she sent some questions to the mods. I don't know if anybody's got an opportunity to speak to her. Miss Meadows, they've been posting the link to our Teespring shop. You have 2 options with the mug. You have option 1, which is like the smoke goes up and it spells out coffee in the smoke, or you can have this one. This is actually option 2, and it has that sleek coffee mug on it. Right there. So there's actually 2 different designs that you can choose from. They all have the Bullhorn Betty. They're all designed exactly the same. The only thing that's different on either coffee cup is the actual coffee mug itself. So yeah, ICU just dropped 1 and 2 in the stuff. Yeah, please Patricia, please email me later. Almost. Less drama than most channels. We shoot for drama free. If we come in a little under it, we're doing great. It's funny. I mean, it's not. I wish there was no drama. I wish everybody could just get along really at the end of the day. I wish all the YouTubers came together and said, yay, we got a missing 5-year-old child. What's the best way to represent that child and be fair, balanced, and unafraid in our reporting? And, you know, I'm a gonzo journalist. I didn't know what a gonzo journalist was until I realized what I was doing was considered being a gonzo journalist. And I do love the type of journalism that I do. I love it. And I don't think I'll ever change. You know, I don't think I'll ever change the kind of journalism that I do. I don't think I'll ever stop getting, you know, when I get into these cases, I get wholly involved with the cases. You know, we go to the people, the key players, and we get answers. We get answers. I know law enforcement tells them not to talk, but the problem is they're always going to talk to us. And here's why. Because you're not saying anything to the public. I get it. It is your right not to. It's your right to not ask the public for help, not provide them any information. That's the right of law enforcement. But it's also my right to go out there and find out that information if they so choose not to help the public. Like there's a 5-year-old child missing. And while we do, know, in the back of our minds that you guys are working tirelessly behind the scenes, when you're not showing that to the public, they lose faith in the ability of law enforcement. I have not lost faith in the ability of law enforcement. My motive of operation is just to get them moving, to make sure that they're hearing us, to make sure they're hearing our concerns, to make sure that they're responsive. You know, when we start going out there and protesting, we can start getting responses from these entities. We start getting them noticing us. We start getting them to at least open a way of communication, a dialogue, if you will, open lines of communication. So we know that they're doing stuff. So we know that they're receiving the tips and the leads that we're sending them. Like I've got a bunch of interviews here that still need to go off to law enforcement, but every time I try to send it through the ways that I can send it, my computer shuts down. That's not how I can help, So we've got a lot of stuff that still needs to go over to Cliff Evans at Hawkins County. I'm in the process of getting that. I'm wholly upset that I've lost a key piece of information that needed to go over to them because it was inadvertently deleted. I've got the stellar, let me see what it is, stellar data recovery. I got this stellar data recovery, and it won't even run on my computer without shutting my computer down. Like I can get it up to about 36%, and that's it. And my computer will shut completely down on it. So making it have to start over. It gets back up to 36%. It shuts back down again. So I need to try to do a deep dive into, I try to restore. I didn't have restore points. I've set up restore points now on this computer. I didn't realize I needed to do that. I've never had a situation like this before, but I do have, and maybe I should run it on maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll run it on the phone. I think it might be easier for me to recover it from the phone than it would be from the computer. At any rate, it's just been stressing me out because it was a very important recorded conversation that I'm out. It needed to go to law enforcement and I've lost it. And it sucks. And there's nothing I can do about it. So what's done is done. And it was related to the Summer Wells case, for those that don't think I talk about the Summer Wells case. I mean, yeah, we break off and talk about little tangents here and there and stuff like that. But, I speak to you guys. You guys are in here asking questions. You guys are in here talking about mugs. We switch over to mugs. I mean, we love you guys, and it's not just it's about communicating with you guys. I mean, this is when we want to get the information out there, we utilize Olivia with her skills to bring out the information of the work that we've done. On this show, it's just commentating on our own work that we've done and discussing with you guys other topics. We've got many cases going on right now. We're still, Colin Knapp has not been convicted of killing Kathleen Moore. We're still, these are all open cases for us. We see these cases to the end. We need to do another rundown on Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner. We're planning on going back to Moab, Utah, to cover their case and do some follow-up and probably protest Hawkins or Grand County. Primarily Kim Neal. I don't understand why he's employed. He is not equipped. He's a failure in his duties. He doesn't know how to work a computer. He's pompous. He's not communicating with Crystal Turner's family. He's a jackass. And I say that publicly. Lieutenant Kim Neal, you are a jackass. We had to provide new leads through Jason Jensen, which on all account, I feel like you guys are stepping back to try to let him solve this case because you are ill-equipped to do so. Jason Jensen has my love and respect. Oh, thank you, Emma. You're lovely. Thank you. We love you. We love you too. I appreciate that. I really do. But Jason Jensen, when I first started watching him and stuff, and I didn't realize how overloaded they were getting with the same exact, they weren't getting real leads and stuff. They were getting hypotheticals, and they were the same hypotheticals. Oh, and for anybody that just gets frustrating reading the same thing over, did you look here? Did you look there? Trust me, everything, any hypotheticals have been looked into. We're not looking for hypothetical situations. We're looking for real evidence, real information, real people, real videos, real photography for the days in questions from August 10th to August 18th. It's an 8-day window in the Moab area, primarily LaSalle Loop Mountain and Mountain Loop rather. And, I when I was hearing him, I thought, man, he's rude. People are just trying to give him help and this, but then I started reading and it was the same things over and over and over again. And I can see how it got frustrating. I got an opportunity to meet or speak to, not meet personally, but speak to Jason Jensen. And he took the time to speak to me for well over an hour, me and the team. I was primarily the one talking because I was the lead. I was designated as the lead by the team to have the conversation with him, but we were all listening in. And he really got a lot of respect from our team by talking to us and accepting that information. And we gave him a couple names he didn't know about. So a lot of that time was talking about the what we had discussed with those people. And as you know, we record everything. So we were able to, they were lengthy recordings. So we have to find other ways of getting those videos over to them. But we did. We got them over to them, and so they could hear with their own eyes without it being cut. Because sometimes in some programs, we literally have to mutilate the recordings and get it over to them in segments because the messenger can't handle more than I think 7 minutes. You can do Telegram, but it takes forever. WeTransfer, I try to do WeTransfer. I got a couple things out on WeTransfer, but again, the computer keeps dropping because it's just something's wrong with it. It was dropped. My computer was dropped and it screwed something up. Period. That's all there is to it. So, yeah, there was a couple dogs pregnant. I can tell you that there was a lot of dogs. There was a lot of people on here in YouTube land. Jonathan Lee Riches was a driving force to reach out to the Humane Society to try to get some of the animals off the property. We were told that all the animals that the Wells owned were removed, that they had turned them over, surrendered them to the Humane Society, which was a lot of animals. So you can imagine our surprise when we went to their house and saw the additional dogs. We saw the additional dogs. And we counted about 5, which is much less than the 21 dogs that they originally had on top of that mountain when summer went amiss. But that's still a lot of dogs for people that can't afford to feed their children and can't afford to bathe their children and can't afford to put clothes on their children. Why do they have dogs when they can't even afford to feed their own kids? Just saying. we want to continue to do our work. We're going to continue to do our work despite what people on YouTube throw us through in the hazing process we have to go through to stand on our own out here. But we are growing leaps and bounds. Every single person on our team has already exceeded some YouTubers that have been on here for literally years. We're very proud of that. It really does show the work and the care and the love and the support we're getting from the YouTube community in the work that we're doing. And we're very thankful for that. I just want to thank everybody. We're already at the top of the 2 hours. Many of you know I've got a laundry list of work to do here to keep this going. I do have, a list of questions, like I said, that have been prepared for Don Wells. And I know it's just a matter of time before he calls me again. And I really want to get down this. And I can handle him calling me a B and the N word and everything else and screaming in my face on the phone and all that other stuff. I can handle that. At the end of the day, it's really letting him know that I really do care for Summer Wells. I do care for his daughter, and I really want to find out the truth if he's willing to let me know the truth. I believe that Candus knows a lot more than she says, and many of you guys know that throughout this process, that, and in my mind, has never changed. What has happened, what I thought happened and what I found out happened are different. Who I thought was involved totally and who I didn't has changed significantly. And I really have a lot of questions that Don and Candus have never answered to the many interviews that they have done with YouTubers and others. And I'm hoping that through persistence, that I will have an opportunity to get those questions answered. We will see. We will see. Yes, Michelle After Dark has been putting stuff together with her being across the waters and stuff like that. I do have respect for her. I do not like her dogging the work that we are doing, which I do feel she does dig a little bit on the team because she doesn't, one, agree with it. And she has every right not to agree with it. But it is effective. At the end of the day, it is effective. And anybody that has ever showed up at one of our rallies or protests will know how effective it is, especially when they get the opportunity to speak to law enforcement. We don't convey how much law enforcement does work with us. Yes, they work with us on these rallies. We do a lot of coordination to be able to make sure that we're working right along law enforcement to set up in an appropriate place and do the work that we're doing in accordance with the law. So that takes all hands on deck. It takes coordination with law enforcement. It takes open dialogue with law enforcement in order to do what we do. Period. I don't know if that is a C. Gotcha. Many of you guys know I don't believe that this child was sex trafficked. I don't. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe she's alive. And I'm allowed to make that determination. Why am I allowed to make that determination? Because I went out there and met with people and interviewed people and looked at what all the possibilities of what could happen. I went and pulled records. I went and pulled maps from the county to show the property. Big, beautiful maps. We looked at every possible aspect of this case. Many people don't realize that. They're like, oh, you just determined that they were guilty. No, we looked at every aspect. We pulled their whole entire 11-acre property. We looked at aerials. We looked at maps. We looked at, everything that you can imagine that would help us determine what happened in this case. Check. We checked off our list. So, and it's sad because whoever Ernie is going to be bashed over the head. Be bashed over the head like everybody else that knows and believes that the Wells are guilty. They're going to just be beat up because you've got criminals that have nothing better to do than sit home and not do anything with their life, but attack people. They try to call me a criminal. I'm not a criminal. If I had half the charges that most of these YouTubers have, I would be tanked. Convicted charges, by the way. You know, I talk about arrests and convictions. It's kind of hard to say that out of all, you know, Don Wells has been arrested and charged with I don't know how many domestic violence and found guilty of domestic violence, whereas I have never been once found guilty of any domestic violence or anything. I've never been found guilty related to anything except a DUI 20 years ago. One, I think 11 or 12 years ago. Both first offenses. Was it right for me to do that? No. But again, I anesthetized myself not to feel what I was feeling. It took a lot to overcome all that. I overcame it. They got literally nothing to hold over my head except my past. But that's all they got. They got my past. They don't have the here and now, and they don't have my future. I've got theirs because they're still committing violations of law, whereas I'm not. Yeah, we've looked at that intersection of that road. I'm curious as to what happened because I keep hearing that, you know, we hear a lot of things, but I didn't realize that Candus and Rosie had another sister, and the other sister was actually sleeping with Rosie's husband. So it makes you wonder, you know, I always thought that it was a family member. That makes you wonder if we're looking at the wrong sister. I just find it awfully odd that the father was able to get a divorce. You know, that Chris Larson. There's something not right with that. I'm curious. He didn't act right after her disappearance, in my opinion. Good morning, all that are just now joining us. Again, if you're not getting your notifications, you may want to unsubscribe and resubscribe, or you can turn your notification bell to none and then turn it back to all. I think the personalized bell is the one that really causes problems. So whenever I subscribe to somebody, I always turn all the notifications to on. So I get literally notifications of everything. I don't really drop too many videos. I need to start working on that, editing some of my own videos and getting those out because I got great content that I have never shared with anybody. And I think it'll be really eye-opening for some of the content from my view, what it looks like and what it was. It kind of sucked this last trip with summer. I couldn't dump my phone into the hard drive. I now am able to dump my phone into the hard drive and know that it is actually playing and that the memory is still there. It looked corrupt, but it was the player that I was using, the video player that I was using. So I downloaded a new video player and it's playing all of the files. And I'm very pleased with that. I love you. You're great. Oh, did he? Good. Good. I'm glad he did. So y'all just keep on watching. We got about 655 people in here. Please go out and like and subscribe to this channel, but like this video. The more likes we get on this video, the higher it goes up. And we need people to notice this channel. The more subscribers we have, the better off we will be, the more support we have for this channel. So please, please, please don't keep me a secret. Share me, talk about me to all your friends and family. Let them know that we are the real deal. We will always be taking these cases. We will always be giving you guys front row views of what we're seeing. And we will always explain it from our eyes to your ears. So please have a great day. Today is Monday. I hope you guys just rock it out. This week is going to be amazing for each and every one of you if you make it amazing. You are in control. Don't let other people hold you back. You are in control of yourself. You are in control of your emotions. and you are in control of your destiny. With that, guys, I love you. I think you're all beautiful people. God bless each and every one of you. And we will keep fighting for Summer Wells and all other victims. Have a great day.